Hi everybody, happy Wednesday to you all. It's not Wednesday here because I am recording this in advance. I am Clydeen. I am the, the owner of Crafting with Clydeen, and I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and friends with Michelle. And I am very happy that you guys are all together to do this card class. I wish I could be there, but unfortunately I will be working. So I told Michelle that I would videotape for you all how to create the different cards. And so let's jump in and do that. Okay, let's start by talking about what is in your kit. You should have a thing of Baker's Twine Essentials pack. It comes with 5 different twines in some very neutral colors. You should have a pack of, or a sleeve of dimensionals, and 1 package of the embellishments, and these are called adhesive backed dragonflies and birds. You will also have in your packet 4 plastic bags numbered 1 through 4. The products that we're going to use that are not in your packet, but Michelle has brought with her, is my understanding, is the Grassy Grove stamp set, and the Hope You Know stamp set, and oops, I grabbed the wrong one. That's supposed to be Blueberry Bushel ink pad. I'm glad I decided to show you that because I grabbed the wrong one. So let me put that away. And as I said, there's 4 bags, numbered 1 to 4. And inside each of the bags, you will have 2 cards. And inside each of the cards are the pieces to make the card. So we're going to start with bag number 1. And you will have a Fresh Freesia card. And inside, you'll have a piece of DSP, a white circle, a ring, a Fresh Freesia circle, and then a small circle with a scene on it. Inside the white card, you will have a piece of, I think that's garden green cardstock, a piece of Designer Series paper, and yours might look a little different because remember they all have 2 sides, a thin strip, and again, you've got the white circle. And this one, I did 2 rings and a small circle. So I'm going to show you how to put one of these together. And let's start by showing you the finished samples. So this is the one that's done on the Fresh Freesia. Pulling that a little bit closer because I'm trying to see where my camera is. And then this is the one that's done on top of the garden green. So those are the finished products. So let's go ahead and get started. If you don't have it already, you're going to need some type of adhesive. I tend to use liquid glue. So I'm just getting mine out. And a pair of scissors. And maybe a take your pick tool. Not essential, but some people find it really helpful. Okay. Let's start with the Fresh Freesia card and pull out our parts. So to begin with, you're going to have to decide which piece of the paper you want to have face up. So in my sample, I've used the kind of darker floral, but you could also use this side here with the scene. And then based upon what you choose for that, you can also choose which side of the paper you want to show for the sentiment. So I'm going to do the opposite this time, just for something a little bit different. So to start with, we're going to go ahead and adhere the DSP to your card front. I have no fingernails left, so sometimes you'll see me struggle to pick up things off of my desk. fingernails all are very short these days. When you put this on, you will be leaving about 1/4 of an inch all the way around, just a nice even border. So that's nice and easy. The next thing we're gonna do is to put some glue on top of your white circle, whether it's liquid glue or adhesive, double-sided adhesive, doesn't really matter. And then you're going to take your ring, your big ring, and put that on top and just line up the edges so that you don't see the white coming out. Next, you're going to take your fresh freesia, and place it inside the ring. And then finally, we're going to put a little bit of glue on the back of this. So again, there's 2 sides to this paper. This one has the floral, and on the back side, there's this little scene that has some picnic tables or picnic benches or maybe a fence. I'm not really sure. It's a little bit blurry, with some ocean and sky. And in the foreground, you have a little bit of landscaping. So I'm just going to stick that side up. As I said, you get to choose which one you would like to do. And I'm going to try and make the borders pretty much even all the way around. All right, once you're done with that, you're going to flip this over and put some dimensionals on the back. And this is going to make it so that your card has a little bit of dimension or height to it. And I'm just going to put them about 1 inch or so, 1.5 inches apart from each other around the outside. And then put one in the middle and take the back off. So I hope you guys have lots of fun planned for your time together, whether that be more card making or scrapbooking or going out and doing something fun. The next thing we're going to do is, give me 1 second, I'm hoping I can put my hands on my tweezers. Oh good, I couldn't find these last night. These are reversible tweezers. So when you squeeze it, it opens it. And then when you let go, it closes it. And if you have a pair of these, they're very helpful. If not, then you just need to use your hands. But I'm going to show you this little trick that we've got here. I'm going to take the white baker's twine out of my packet. And I'm going to hold it over my finger so we've got a little bit of a tail, maybe 1.5 inches to 2.5 inches, something in that neighborhood. I'm going to wrap it around my fingers once, twice, 3, and then, one more time. So total of 4 times. And then I'm going to use my snips and cut off another tail. Now I'm going to cross those over like so, and then I'm going to take it off my fingertips and either hold it with my fingers or you can hold it with your reversible tweezers. Okay? I like to use the tweezers because then I can use both hands for the next part, which I can't do if I'm holding it. So I just cut off, let me see if I can tell you, about 6 inches. I just did a quick little measure. And I'm going to wrap it around the center where I'm holding it closed with the tweezers. Like so. Pull it tight and give it one more just to give it a knot. Okay. And now I'm going to take my tweezers off. And I've got my my ends kind of hanging down, and I'm just kind of separating the loops here, almost to make a messy bow, or it might look like a little bit of a flower. And then I'm going to take a piece of Scotch tape and tape this to the back of my circle. If you don't have Scotch tape available, you can put it on the back of one of your dimensionals, or you can put it on with the glue dot. So I'm going to make sure that I know where the top of this is, and then I'm going to flip it over with the top up there, and then place this down here on the bottom. And then spread it out a little bit again. And this time I happen to put it on the left. The last time I put it on the right. It's wherever it looks good to you. And then we will place that in the center of the card. And your card is done. So that's the first one, or first version. For the second version, it is slightly different. Most of the cards, I'm only going to show you one version because the process is the same. But this one is slightly different, so I am going to do this one real quickly. So we will put the cardstock on, and this will cover the card front. And I'm going to show you a little trick. When I have to do this, I tend to use my fingers to line up the sides, and I use a tabletop to line up the bottom. And then if there's a little bit of white showing at the top, that's fine. But I really like my open edge to go all the way to the edge. And once again, we're going to put the large piece of DSP on with just 1/8 of an inch border all the way around. And then I have this skinny strip that's going to go across the side. And I intentionally left it long because, you know, sometimes when you're cutting things, they don't always go exactly as you want. It's not 100% spot on, especially as your eyes get older. It's sometimes hard to figure that out. So anyways, it's going to go across the middle, and then I'm going to use my stick to cut off the little bit of extra. And that way I get a nice even border on the edge. And then take my cloth and wipe that up since I just got glue all over it. All right, next, just like the last time, I'm going to put glue all over the front of this, getting out to the edges and a little bit on the middle. We'll put the largest ring on. And I'm going to do it with the distressed side. No, I'm not. I'm going to do the pretty side out. Like before, it's totally up to you which side you want to use. And I didn't line that up very well. Let me try that again while it's still wet. And this is why I like to use wet glue. Gives me a few extra moments to fiddle with it. So we've got the pretty side up, and then we're going to take this the smaller ring and put it just inside, and then pretty side up again on the circle. And then the rest of the procedure is just the same. You got to put some dimensionals on the back, and you're going to use the twine to make your little danglies. And that is card number 1. So let me see about card number 2. Oh, I forgot. I gave you these so that you can decorate the fronts of these. So if you look up, neither of these samples did I decorate, but you have these dragonflies in the birds that you can place wherever you'd like on the card front. We'll do that on one of the other cards, I think. And the placement and how many you use is totally up to you. that off to the side. All right, let's move on to card number 2. And this one is a gatefold card, or an asymmetrical gatefold card, because typically a gatefold will meet in the center, but I wanted to do something a little bit different. So again, we're going to have 2 different versions. We have one that's using the blue paper and one that's using the purple. I am not sure, but I think I may have given you Pacific Point, which is a retired color, but I ran out of the blueberry. And then this one here is Highland Heather. All right. So before you get started, I need to tell you about a quick little change. When I put the packets together, I cut this piece of paper the wrong size. And so it needs to be 5 1/4 inches tall by 2 1/4 inches wide. So that means I need you to cut off 1/4 inch off one side and 1/4 inch off the top or bottom. So that's the first thing. And then the piece that layers on top of that also needed to be changed so that it is 5 by 2. So I apologize for that. But when you cut this to the 5 by 2, you can see it will do the 1/8 of an inch all the way around. Let me pull out the stamp. So the stamp that we're going to use on the inside says, just saying thank you doesn't seem like enough. Hope you know how much your kindness is appreciated. So I'm going to pull that. And just should probably talk to you a little bit. You'll see that there are 3 pieces of the Design a Series paper. And if you were to put this back together, oops, I think I had it upside down. All right, let me show you. So those 2 pieces you can see go side by side. All right, one more time. Those 2 pieces go side by side. So it's the skinniest one and the widest one. And then the middle one is what's going to go in the center. So I'm going to put these aside. And I'm going to stamp the sentiment right here on the middle width panel. So just a little bit of ink, and then I'm going to stamp this up towards the top in the lighter part. There you go, just like so. And if I were to cut the 1/4 inch off of this, I would take it off of the bottom so that you'll have a little bit more of the top. All right, we're going to put this onto the green, I think it's called Seafoam, soft Seafoam cardstock with with 1/8 of an inch all the way around. And then this is going to go into the panel. So if you look at this card, you have a narrow panel on your left and a wider panel on the right. And this piece here is going to go on the inside of the wider panel on your right. If you flip it around, not to worry, just make sure that you've got the top of it going in the right direction. And that is going to fit in that panel with just the 1/8 inch reveal all the way around. And then we're going to take the 5 1/4 by 4 cardstock mat and place that on the inside over here. And we're centering that between the 2 score lines or fold lines. All right, let's close that up. And we're going to take the larger piece and put it on the right. So I can't wait to see what everybody makes, because there are places where you get to make your own decisions about what side of the paper to use. You might change what sentiment you use. So I would love to see it. You can join my group, which is called Crafting with Claudine, Paper, Stamps, and Ink, and post it in there, or you can have Michelle post them for you. But I'd love to have you come join us. We have lots of fun in there at times. Sometimes it's a little quieter, sometimes it's a little busier. Depends on what is going on in life. All right, on the front, we're going to use this stamp that says thank you, and stamp it right on the little circle. You want to make sure that you are just going straight up and down. Don't push too hard or you'll end up with fuzzy edges, blurry edges. Just get these out of the way. Okay, you have a long strip of paper that has 2 folds in it. I would like you to hold it so that the short side is on the right and the long side is on the left. And then you're going to place your card on top of that. And when you fold it around it, you'll see that there's a little bit of a gap, but that's okay. We're going to put a little bit of glue on each side of that gap. Glue or adhesive. I use the glue, the term always to be universal. And then you're going to place that right on top. And if you're using liquid glue like I am, you're just going to want to hold it for a couple of seconds, because this will get a little bit of pressure on it as we try and move the belly band up and down. So I wanted to give it a couple of extra seconds to be adhered. And now I am taking out the embellishments, the birds and the dragonflies. Oops. There we go. And I am going to place a couple of the birds right on a circle. And a third one up in the top left, as if he's flying away from the pack. And that is the construction for card number 2. The construction for the blue card is exactly the same, so I'm not going to show that again. All right. So if you're making both cards at the same time, you can hit pause and make the second card. Or you can go back and do it again afterwards. That was card number 2. So let's go to card number 3. Card number 3 has these lovely little deers in it, and a lovely sentiment that sometimes you need to know that someone really cares. And then when you open it up on the inside, it says that someone is me. That's a really nice thinking of you card. So we have 2 versions, one with the darker blue and one with the lighter blue. And inside, you will have a piece of cardstock for the card front, a piece of the Design a Series paper or DSP that fits just inside of that, a scrap piece of green, a strip, a circle, a colored circle, and a white circle, and 2 deer. So let's do a little bit of, excuse me, I just lost my voice for a moment, a little bit of gluing. And again, I am going to use the more scenic side as my front, but this would make a beautiful background as well. So we're going to go ahead and put that there. Whoop, that was a little crooked. Not to worry, I can fix that with my liquid glue. And then we're going to take some of the white thread, baker's twine. Once again, I'm going to get just a little piece of Scotch tape, but you can certainly use a glue dot or double-sided adhesive, whatever you happen to have on hand, just to hold that in place. So I'm doing that just about 1 inch to 1.25 inches from the top, and I'm going to wrap it around once, twice, 3 times a lady. And then I'm going to glue this or tape this end down. Oops. Crash. And now snip off the extra. And then you've got these 3 pieces that are just kind of wound across the top. And you can put them together closely if you like so, or spread them apart, whatever works for you. And then we're going to adhere this to your card front. And again, this is one that fits the whole thing, so I'm going to use my fingers to line up the sides and then line up the bottom. All right. Next, we are going to do a little bit of stamping. So on your scrap piece, you're going to stamp sometimes. You need to know that someone really cares. And your scrap pieces may all be different sizes. It was kind of leftover cutoffs, but that's okay because we are going to kind of do a little bubble cut around it. And then you're going to take the stamp that says, "That someone is me," and stamp it in the middle. Whoop, I almost put it in the wrong place. Stamp it in the middle of the white one. And then on the green one, if you want to, I'm going to put this underneath, you can use that thing to create like a little background and just stamp it like so, just to give it a little bit of interest. I did that on some and not on others, so whichever one you like. And then this guy is going to go on the front of the circle. Like so. And then for the dimensionals, I'm going to recommend that you put one just above the line of string and one just below it, and they should be fairly close together, and that's going to be the basis for your circle. And the reason I did that is because if you try and do it on top of the string, it gets a little bit messy. I'm just looking to see. Yeah, I just put an extra one there. And then that goes on top. Oh, no it doesn't. No it doesn't. I am so sorry. Oh. That's what I get for trying to be fancy, huh? Saved. All right, we're going to take our scissors and kind of cut around these words on a sentiment. And you don't need to worry about being too exact. It just kind of gives it the feel of bubble letters, if you remember those from way back when we were in school. I drew a lot of bubble letters. All right. So let me see about this. I'm going to need to lift this up. All right, so I just changed it and put 2 underneath so that I could layer that on top. If you wanted to, you could cut one of your dimensionals in half and put it underneath the front, or the top, I should say. But it will be fine the way that is. All right, now we're going to take the bigger of our two deer and put a little bit of glue on that. I just put the teeniest, tiniest amount of glue down here on the back of the hooves. And we're going to make it look like they're walking into the path. So I picture that as being the mama deer. And then we've got the little baby deer. And this deer is going to be following mama, just slightly behind, like she can't quite keep up with mom. All right, let's open it up. And then you have this strip here that is going to go across the bottom. And you can decide which side you want to show. I'm going to show the darker of the sides. And this is going to go, maybe leave an inch to an inch and a quarter below the line. You can go higher if you'd like to make it so that you have very little room to write. That is the way some people like it. They want to make the card and just say, love Claudine. So this is one of the ways that you can make that so that it seems like it's appropriate. All right, so that is card number 3. Ooh, let's put some birds and dragonflies and stuff. This one I want to use the dragonflies just because I haven't used them yet. And I put one up in the top. And let's see what it looks like if I put, no, I don't like it there. So just above the deer. All right, there you go. Again, you can put as many as you'd like. My other one, I did 3, but I did a different placement. You can see here, way over here on the left, and one flying up to the northeast. And this one, it's like they were making a flight line away from the deer. And the second version is exactly the same. So I'm not going to show you that one a second time. All right, and now we are on to our final card. And this is a fun, classic look to the card, in my opinion. So we've just got a cardstock layer, a Designer Series paper layer, a cardstock Designer Series paper, a simple stamp and an embellishment, and a little bit of twine. And then the inside is blank. And this one you have a purple card base. And then we have a white card base. So I'm going to do the white one because I already have the purple one there to show you. So let's see what we've got in here. The one difference between the two packets is that this one has a layer to go on top of the card front. All right, that's the first layer. And then we're going to take the DSP, and on this one, let's see, do I want to go like this? Or do I want to go like so? I don't have my sample of how I did this the first time, but considering the orientation, I am going to put the dark side up. Because although I doubt the recipient would notice the orientation, because I start, I need to for me, I need to do it this way. All right, the next thing we're going to do is to take the stamp that says Hello Friend and stamp that in the top left of the scene. And then we're going to glue this to the smaller of the pieces of cardstock. And then we are going to take our twine. I want to see if I want to use a different color for this. Just going through the colors. You can do whichever color you like. I think I'm going to do this kind of off-white one. And pick up my tape that I dropped a little while ago. And do the same thing. So this, I'm going to hold this over here where I have my friend on the left and just flip it over. And then a little tape on the back side to hold this in place. About 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch from the right border. And then wrap around once, twice, 3 times. And some more tape. And a snip. And then we're going to use some dimensionals. If I hadn't already done so, I probably would pull from the edges because you get a long strip and it just makes quick work of those long edges. But since I don't have it, I will use the dimensionals. This is a fairly large piece to pop up. So I am going to be generous with my dimensionals. Because I don't want a saggy front to my card. Okay. But the good news is you don't have to take the backing off of every sticker, every dimensional. So long as you get the edge, you know, like the corners. The rest are just there for height. The corners will hold it in place. And then this gets centered on the front, whoops, on the card front. And that is card number 4, version 1 and version 2. Gonna put a little birdie. Flying over. All right. So that is all 4 of the cards. And let me put these aside. I hope you enjoyed the class and that you loved the cards and that I made it nice and easy for you. If you do, just drop me a line and let me know. If you have any feedback, I'd love to hear that too. And then before I go, I wanted to show you what is coming up in January. And this is for, I think, January 13th. It's a Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern. And like this class, there will be 4 designs, 2 of each. And so this is the first card. Don't remember if there's anything inside any of these because I made these quite a while ago. So that one says, so much love. This one says, thanks for all you do, friend. Nobody gets me like you. Happy Valentine's Day. And then just a plain note card. No sentiment anywhere. So again, this will be 4 cards or 4 designs, 2 of each. We will be using the garden walk paper and Modern Love stamp set. And let me see here, Modern Love. It's Modern Love and Love for You. So if you don't have those stamp sets at home, you can use any flower and sentiment stamp, and we'll make it work. So you'll be able to show me what you've got. The biggest challenge, I think, might be this one here because it's very distinctive. But if you don't have this set, we can certainly come up with something to do across that center panel. The cost for the class is $35. You get all the supplies to make your 8 cards. You'll get a packet of the embellishments here and a roll of ribbon. So there you go. If you would like to sign up for that class, you can reach me at clydene.horrigan@yahoo.com. That's CLYDENE.horrigan, HORRIGAN @yahoo.com. And my Facebook page is Crafting with Clydene, or my Facebook group is Crafting with Clydene Paper, Stamps, and Ink. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope you guys have a fantastic time together, and I wish I could have been quote unquote live with you on a Zoom so that I could meet you, but maybe at another time. Thank you. Have a great day, ladies.